Hello again. Well, as promised, just taking some, it's like A roads off the main motorways towards Baden-Baden. And there's something quite, I wouldn't say eerie, but it looks like this landscape hasn't changed, well, for a very, very long time. It's very rural. There is, don't know, it just has a feeling that not much has changed since World War II. And you can imagine with the snow on the ground, what happened during World War II, and it just gives me that feeling, and I don't know why. It's just probably stuff that I've seen from the films that you see the soldiers on the ground in the snow when they were fighting. Just it gives that feeling. Um, it's very flat here at the moment, but in the distance I can see the mountains, which is where we're heading to, and should be in Baden-Baden about 45 minutes. So I just thought I'd say hello again. I'll take some more video footage of the drive as we approach the mountains, and we can hopefully, or I can upload that later for you, and you can enjoy it. But we've come off the beaten track, to say the least, and like I say, the landscape just feels like it's probably been unchanged for, well, centuries. And you could just imagine what it was like, during World War II, really, or before that. I've had a couple of people ask me questions about flying and becoming a pilot, and is it easy, or what are the chances of making it? Well, I've always worked on the kind of the premise that with flying, and this is just my opinion, I'm sure there'll be many people out there that may disagree, but you don't have to be brilliant at any one thing, but what you generally have to be good at is everything. And as I mentioned in my previous videos, I didn't really have an amazing education. But I think, like most things in life, is that if you're determined enough to do it, no matter what it is, you will achieve it. And it's having that determination, that motivation to make things happen, about creating your own luck. And I fly with some brilliant people, and in my opinion, who are very capable and just very natural aviators. And I don't think I ever am, or I ever was, really. I probably had to work very hard to get to where I am, which is fine. And I took a long pathway in succeeding as an airline pilot, and now a captain, a former line training captain as well. So I've been very fortunate, and I do believe there's a great deal of luck involved, but I'm also a believer that you kind of make your own luck, and you just have to make something happen. And if you have the determination and the motivation and the self-belief to make something happen, I'm of the opinion that it will. There's a scheme that my airline is currently running, and there were 23,000 applicants for 60 positions. And it's like a full sponsorship deal, which is an amazing opportunity. And with the market being the way it is at the moment, aviation is short of pilots, it's short of engineers, I believe. All the big airlines are recruiting. And I think if you work out the numbers, it's probably a very small percentage of people make it. Some people just may have a medical issue, which means that they can't get past that. Some people may not have the funding in place. There's a whole load of factors involved with becoming a pilot. But again, I think, like anything, if you believe in yourself, don't allow anybody to say you can't do it. Follow your dreams, believe in yourself, and there will be times when you'll have setbacks. That's life, and that's okay, but it just makes you stronger. Would I recommend becoming a pilot? It depends what your outlook on life is. I think with flying, especially commercially, and especially for an airline, it's not a particularly stable lifestyle. And an example of that is being on standby, being called at 3 o'clock in the morning, or getting home at 3 o'clock in the morning after a very long day. The days can be long. It can be challenging. But I do believe that the challenges and the effort are well rewarded, both financially and with the people that you fly with. And that's what makes the job for me. It's the people I fly with. The aeroplane is great. I fly a Boeing 737. I meet some interesting people. And there are days you think, wow, this is challenging or it's difficult. But there's other days when you think it's a great day out. And as I say, it's the people that make it. But for anybody who has aspirations to become an airline pilot, look at every opportunity that you can create for yourself to make your dream come true. And don't allow, like I say, any setbacks to get in your way, because that's life in general. And some people have had it tough, and other people have had it a little bit easier. However, the opportunities are open to everybody. So I hope that kind of answers in a very loose and broad way about how to become an airline pilot. A lot of the UK operators are running sponsorship schemes, but just look at the CAA website, speak to a local flying school, go and see if you enjoy it. And that's the key to this. It's like anything in life. You're going to be doing this career, it could be for 40 years. I don't believe that's sustainable. I don't believe that people can fly for that length of time. Probably going part-time a little bit further down the road and a bit further on with your career is a sensible way of carrying on with your flying career. But I do believe it's an extremely rewarding job. I don't find it too stressful. I do find it enjoyable, but there are days when I think less so. But I'm at a different stage of my life now. I'm in my 50s and I see the world probably differently to people in their 20s and 30s, which is normal. But I hope that kind of answers the questions a little bit about becoming an airline pilot or becoming a commercial pilot or whatever, and even flying for fun. Absolutely go and fly for fun. You don't need to make a career out of it. But the whole point of this is, do you enjoy it? Do you have a passion for aviation? And if you do, the job becomes far more enjoyable. And like I say, my overall opinion of flying is I've met some of the best people ever. And everybody, there's a real sense of camaraderie, a real sense of togetherness with the people I fly with, including the cabin crew. We need to get a job done and we'll do it together and we'll help each other out, support each other. And that's how I feel about the job. I go home, meet some very interesting people, far more interesting than me, and they're half my age. They've traveled or they've had life experiences that I've never even seen or heard of. And I think it's fabulous. And it just makes for a very nice day out. So for anybody who's contemplating becoming a pilot, don't just do it just to fly a plane or to go to some sunny destinations if you go long haul. It's about the people that you work with, because you can be with those people for, well, days if you're long haul. And people, well, they can make it or break it, as we know. And it's about what you bring to the day. Can you have a laugh? Can you have a smile on your face when things are going wrong? Can you support people if they need it, if they need your help? There's a lot of things about becoming an airline pilot or becoming a pilot in general. It's not just being able to fly a plane or to pass some theory exams or flying exams and tests. It's not just about that. It's about you as a person. And I do think that the opportunities at the moment in the job market are extremely good and really unheard of. So if you're thinking about doing it, do it now. Anyway, I'll come back to you with, as we're approaching the mountains now and the hills, 2.5 degrees, below zero. Probably about another 35 minutes before I get to the hotel. So I'll make some road footage now of the drive, and then I'll give you an update with what the hotel's like.